very quiet guy. Yeah, kept himself a lot. So you got stories about him.
Okay, well, a couple of stories. I knew when he was at the orphanage. Yeah, he was a very quiet, still, never defended himself, didn't want to fight. He was not a fighter, okay? And we just happened to be in the same classroom one day. He was in the third, I was in the fourth, and we were together. And there was a guy that was always, you know, fighting Fern. And Fern never fought back. And you know, when the girls used to say, well, your brother is a sissy, your brother is a sissy. I didn't like that at all. I wanted him to be a man. So I went to see, and I said, well, fight. Don't let yourself, you know, kick or anything. And he just didn't want to. He started crying. So I went to see the teacher, and I told the teacher, I said, when that guy comes in, I'm going to hide him back of the door, and I'm going to jump on him and give him a good licking. So it's too lick.
You said that.
And the teacher was Sister Moran.
Yeah, I remember her.
Okay.
I actually recall the teacher's name.
Oh, yes. Sister Moran, she says, Florence, if you can do that, go ahead. I'll give you permission. Don't kill him, but she said, give him a licking. So I hid him back of the door. And soon he was a Mexican guy, a little Mexican guy. So he came in, and I jumped on him naturally and punched him and kicked him, and he was screaming, and Sister Moran was right there. No, go ahead, go ahead. I did it. And when he got up, and he thought at first it was Fern doing that, but when he saw it was me kicking him, okay, he never touched him again. Never, never, never. Wanted to defend that Joe. No,
but he was...
No, very, very, he was very musically inclined. He used to play
inclined.
Yeah, he used to play the organ.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sister Blondin taught him the organ.
Yeah.
And also he was in the, we had an orchestra. He was in the orchestra.
Okay.
Also,
Plays the drums.
He plays the drum.
Yeah.
I used to play the gong.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we had also we used to go march in parades.
Okay.
Okay. And
she was the majoress.
I was the majoress.
And I was the little one.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. We were together.
I guess something we failed to mention about Uncle Rosie is that he had a love for the outdoors. He loved to fish, and I guess he loved to hunt too. And one of the things that I learned about Uncle Fern one time when his daughter Flo was here is that we went over to the high school, Spalding High School, and found out on their records over there that I guess he was a triple letterman over there. I guess he played baseball and hockey, and there was one other sport that I'm not sure what.
Football.
It could have been football.
Yeah.
It could have been football, baseball, and hockey. So
Because I remember...
he was quite athletic then.
Yeah.
At least when he was in high school.
Because I remember Teresa's first husband, Roland, and Val, your father, your dad.
What was that?
I remember when Fern used to play football.
Okay, you did.
That's Paulding.
Yep.
Teresa's first husband, Roland,
Yep.
Gagny, and your father, they used to go to the game.
They would go to his football
They
games.
would go to his football game.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone else
Huh?
know anything about Uncle Joe or Uncle Fern or Uncle Rainey or?
No, you know, Uncle Joe, of course, Uncle Joe, I still say Fern.
Fern,
I still call him Fern. Huh? Yeah. It's funny that our mother had all those boys, and 4 of them were with the letter R, but Fern was F.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about Uncle Joe here, Fern, and we were just having a conversation about how he got one of his middle names, which was Ulrich?
Ulrich.
Ulrich. Can you tell us a little bit how he got his name Ulrich?
Yeah,
Any one of
because
you?
his godfather.
His godfather.
Yeah. Which was our mother's brother that lived in Old York, Massachusetts.
spend a little minutes here talking a little bit more about Uncle Joe or any one of the other siblings, and see maybe if we can expand on something, either what they did or what your thoughts were of them, or where they went to foster homes or anything like that. Because obviously they're not here and they can't have any input. So I guess the input's got to come from you guys, whatever you can remember at that time. So
Well,
where did Uncle Joe go for a foster home?
over to Mr. and Mrs. Losar, Narcissus Losar.
And they lived where?
They lived on, in Garnet,
No.
on School Street.
Okay.
And they never had any kids. And the Mr. Losar owned a fish market on Union Street in Rochester. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Fern used to work there after school
He worked at the fish market.
at the fish market with Mr. Losar. Yeah, I remember that very well.
Yeah.
There were people that never had kids but took very good care of Fern. I think he didn't go without anything while he was living with him. Because Louise liked Uncle Joe an awful lot. You know, she was good to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
School Street in Garnet was actually the street that led to the brickyard. There was a brickyard down there, wasn't it? That was not the street that led to the brickyard, okay?
Now, School Street is called Shelby Street now. It's right across the street from the fire station.
Okay.
And there's a cemetery right there.
Is it what?
Cemetery.
Yeah, it's a small cemetery.
Okay.
But also about the three families.
Yeah, you ought to expand on that.
Yes, the three.
So
Yeah.
the foster home that
Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe was in was a pleasant foster home for.
It was very pleasant, and they were very good to him.
Yeah.
Now, where Rainey went over to Ernest Tremblay on the farm,
Yeah.
Now, I remember him coming to the orphanage. And I don't know where we had gone, but I had got in the car with him, and the car was full. I don't know if it was you guys, Teresa, but I used to think he was so handsome. Oh my goodness. I thought he was not my hero, but he was like, oh my God, this is my brother. He's
No,
so
no.
handsome.
Now, was this the time that you were thinking he was handsome when he was in high school?
No,
Oh.
he was in the service.
He was in the military? then?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
he's out of high school, he was in
Yes.
the military. And,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yes. I used to think he was so handsome.
And I know when he was in the service, he went to Jerusalem for a year or two. He stayed there in
Yeah.
Jerusalem.
He did.
For a year or two, he stayed there. And
Was
I
this before
remember,
his family?
pardon me?
Was this before
Yes.
he had a family?
No.
I don't know.
He had a family, they were living in Dover.
Oh, yeah, they.
Remember?
Yeah.
Evelyn and the 4 boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
remember
mean-
Tiny
you
used
mean
to
the two
babysit
boys,
for
the 2
them.
boys and the 2 girls?
Yeah, I think it was in
But it was after they lived in Dover that he ended up going to Jerusalem?
No,
No.
they lived in Dover while he was in Jerusalem.
While he was in Jerusalem?
Yeah.
Okay. And you were telling a story about
Yeah,
him?
once he got there anyway, and he had sent me a little crucifix with a letter, okay, because, I mean, he never wrote to anyone, right? But he had taken the pain of picking up a crucifix, a nice little one, wooden crucifix, wrote me a nice little note, okay? So I've always, and I still have that crucifix on my bed table.
You do.
I still have it every night.
So it meant something to you then,
Yes.
it means something to you today.
Again, same thing.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Yeah.
a nice story to know. Yeah, definitely. Can you, so you guys, at some point in time left